Hi guys, thanks to this episode of Nick Egan Times. On this episode, we have an awesome guest. We have the Cheat Codes. Cheat Codes is an American electronic music DJ trio consisting of Kevin Ford, Trevor Dahl, and Matthew Russell. Cheat Codes have had a lot of success, which includes the 2000 single Sex, which samples a chorus from Let's Talk About Sex by Salt-N-Pepa, and the 2017 single No Promises. Other hits include Let Me Hold You, Only You. The track was also certified platinum by the RIAA. Welcome, guys, and thanks for coming on the podcast.
Of course, man. Thanks for having us.
How's it all been going? Good.
Good. It's good. Just hanging. We just got back into town today. We were in Nashville yesterday, and just hanging out. Our album just came out a couple of days ago, so we're feeling good.
How's life been, I guess, personally and professionally for all of you since the pandemic's hit?
I mean, everything's kind of back to normal here in the States. Like, we've just been playing shows like every weekend, and but yeah, we had like 8 months off of touring, you know, when everything locked down. So we just kind of got in the studio and just wrote a bunch of songs, and that was kind of the inspiration for the albums that we're putting out. We just put out part 2 of our album Hellraisers, so that's out now, and we got part 3 coming. So that was kind of where all the music came from. You know, we've been touring so much, like, since we started, that we kind of needed the break, to be honest.
Yeah.
But now
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's just jump straight into it. Talk to me about, I guess, the story for Cheat Codes, how it all began, how you guys met, and how it all transpired.
Who wants to take it? Sure, I'll go for it. So me and Matt met a long time ago when I was like 16 and he was 18. We met in St. Louis, where he's from. I've been playing a show, like just coming through his town or whatever, and we met briefly, and then a couple years later we saw each other again in LA and became friends, and I moved in with him a few different times, and after a few years of being friends, he had told me about Kevi and how they were going to work on some music together, and how I had to meet him, and how we all should get together sometime. And so I had been working on my kind of music, they were working on theirs, and we got together one day and worked on a song, and just felt really natural. And that was a long time ago. That was about 2014 when we first started getting together. So we just kind of got together, made some music, and put out the first song we wrote together. So I guess the rest is history, and a lot of time and songs have happened since then, but it's been a blast. So yeah, here we are.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
What about what do you believe is giving Cheat Codes the longevity? Obviously, it's now 7 years. What do you believe has been the nucleus behind that?
I mean, I think it's just, you just got to do it. Like, we just do it every day. Like, we're working on something, and we just try to keep it moving. And we're always working on new music, or playing a show, or doing interviews like this, or just creating content in general, and just trying to be creative. And I think it does help that we're a group, and we're all like really good friends. Because I think sometimes if we met a lot of DJs like on the road, for example, that'll be like, yeah, man, it's really lonely out here, stuff like that. And I'm sure you get kind of burned out, or you get kind of unmotivated. So it's like, we can kind of like tag team it a little bit, whether it's, halfway through a 2-hour set, and one of us wants to take a drink and the other one wants to kind of take over, hyping up the crowd or whatever it is, or just, I don't know, even just creatively, if one of us has an idea, we can just kind of roll off of that. So I think that really helps, honestly. I don't know about the other guys, but
I would just say the fact that we're able to always, keep like pushing the envelope as far as like what kind of music we're making, and never being stuck in a box musically, and always kind of having fun with it, So we're always just doing what we want to do, and not really having to answer to anybody else. And the more time goes on, the more we're able to kind of run our business the way we want to, and put out the music we want to, when we want to, and how we want to. So it's been a good journey.
Wonderful. And you, looking at it, and obviously listening to music, your music's amazing. With the collaborations you've done, you two, Fetty Wap, Wiz Khalifa, talk to me about that, those collaborations and the experience behind that as well. Has that helped your music, do you believe, too, going into the future?
Yeah, totally. We love being able to collaborate. The whole idea behind cheat codes is trying to like, make different styles of music, and being able to, when you're able to collaborate with those kinds of artists, you're able to, do what they do and do what we do and kind of meet in the middle and create something special. So, whether it's U2 or Fetty Wap or Demi or Black Bear or whoever, we're kind of able to work with whoever and make something special, I think. So, yeah, every like situation is different and unique in its own way. And so, working with U2 is completely different than working with Demi or whoever. So, but it's all about just kind of like finding middle ground and doing something that you guys both really like in the end. So, yeah.
Awesome. What inspires cheat codes?
That's a good question. I mean, I think we all listen to kind of like different music. I mean, if you're just talking like musical inspiration, so it's always kind of like random in a sense, because like I don't even really know what like Princess Rosie and Trevor are listening to right now. I'm assuming Princess Rosie's listening to Drake because he always listens to Drake.
Yeah, that's a good guess.
but I think that's what keeps it fresh, is like we can kind of inspire each other, or like, hey, have you heard this new record? Have you heard this new Edamame record by Baby No Money and Rich Brian or whatever? And maybe only one of us has heard it, and we can kind of like expose each other. Or, we also have other really good friends like Danny Quest, who's like a really good house DJ, and he'll like show us a lot of underground tracks that aren't necessarily mainstream, but they might inspire us like for our set or for something we want to do in the electronic space. So, yeah, like I said, I think being in a group really helps, because otherwise you're kind of like just listening to the same artists over and over again, and you just end up kind of making the same music.
Yeah, it's true.
Impressive. What's the process between, I guess, you three with the songwriting? How does that transpire?
It's just another one of those things, like Matt said, where it's another good reason to be in the group, because we can sort of divide and conquer, and we can all do sessions, and we're able to make a lot more music and create a lot more songs and top lines, and just more ideas to choose from, especially when we come together and we're able to say, hey, I was working on this with this person, or I was working on this with this person. What do you think? And so kind of just endless possibilities with how we can create a song. You know what I mean? There's not just one way. A lot of producers or writers have like their one way of doing it, which is cool, but we can kind of come at it from a million different ways and create something special. So, yeah.
Yeah, and what's cool about like Hellraiser's Part 2 that's out now is a lot of that was inspired by a lot of songs that Princess Rosie was working on separate, just on his own, and we kind of were like, oh, these are tight, like let's do this as a cheat codes thing, and it kind of allowed us to have more of like a personal narrative on the records, instead of approaching it like a lot of pop records where you're just trying to make it lyrically apply to everybody. Like this could be anybody, but sometimes it's nice to have like a more specific lyric where it's like maybe it doesn't apply to everybody, but it sounds more personal and it sounds more authentic.
Incredible. Well, talk to me and elaborate, I guess, on the music that you've worked on recently. Obviously, you just talked about that you've released. Talking about that, and what shows and what tours, what does the future look like as well?
Yeah, so we just did part 2 of our album. So it's a 3-part album called Hellraisers, and the second part just came out, and it's very like alternative leaning, and we got to work with some really cool artists that we've been listening to since we were kids, whether it's like Tyson Ritter or Travis Barker or whoever. So or Ollie Sykes, and it was just so some really cool collaborators on this one, and something different for us. We haven't really done this sort of music before, so it's cool for us to be able to just kind of do something creative that we just kind of felt like doing, and it's something that we can put a lot of Kevi's vocals on, and something that like Matt said, he feels really attached to, and there's more personal sort of lyrics and so anyways, sort of the vibe. And as far as tours going, as far as shows and stuff, we have a tour coming up in a couple months starting in January. It's called the Hellraisers Tour. It's all over the US. It's like 40 dates. I think they're adding more, so it should be a bunch of stuff, but we're excited for it. It's the first like full US tour that we've done. It's like that's ours, so it should be cool.
That's really exciting. You're gonna have an amazing time on tour as well, right? Traveling and going to different cities. That'll be awesome.
Oh yeah, we love it. It's the best part.
What are some of the fondest memories that you've had so far, like being out doing tours and shows previously, and even when your songs hit the charts? What are some of the memories that you can recall that really stick out for you guys?
What do you think, Rosie?
I think playing Madison Square Garden is cool. That definitely is a memory.
Yeah, that was a really special moment.
Yeah.
Doing Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon, that was really cool. And anything like that is always really exciting. You know what I mean? And obviously we're always grateful if a song's hitting on the charts, and that's always really special. And yeah, it's kind of hard to pinpoint. It's all been really cool. Even like even the times we're working on a song that might not be the biggest song we release, it's always just a good time working on music. You know what I mean? Whether it's a hit or not. So we're just blessed to be able to do what we do.
Astonishing. What's the best advice you guys have been given?
Go ahead, Rosie.
Mine is probably scared money don't make money.
Nice.
I like that one. Another good one is it'll all work itself out in the end.
That's a great one.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
When we first started, the Chainsmokers told us to never fly first class, but we didn't listen.
I disagree. That's hilarious.
Too good. What have, I guess, too, relating to that, what are some of the key learnings, obviously being in the industry and, obviously everything's always changing consistently. What have been the key learnings you've taken from where you first started to where you are now?
Ooh, that's a good question. I mean, it's different for every artist, but for us, it's just like, I think that just like the more you want to be as involved with your business as possible, not just on the music. You want to understand everything that's going on, and just the longer we're a group, and the more time goes on, we're kind of able to kind of really control our destiny. And I think that's something you should really try to figure out early on if you're a new artist. So I think that's the biggest thing that I've learned as time has gone on, I guess.
Cool. What? Yeah, go.
I was just agreeing with Trevor.
Okay. Cool.
Thanks, Matt.
The dream team. What do you guys like to do away from music? What are you guys' hobbies and passions? And what do you like to do in your downtime?
Oh, what do you guys like to do? Matt's always working out and staying healthy.
Yeah, I was just playing basketball today, so.
Really?
I kind of had a
play.
Yeah, what do you mean?
Oh my god! Wow,
you got to work out right when you get off the plane, otherwise you get jet lag.
Yeah, fuck.
That's like, I was a little off today though, so maybe that's why.
All right.
Yeah. For me, I mean, we do spend a lot of time working on the projects. So if we're not doing this, I'm working on other kinds of music, or I like camping. I like being in the outdoors. I like all that sort of stuff. I like visiting Portland, where my family's from, hanging out with them. Yeah.
Cool. Are you guys going to come out to Australia?
Oh, that's the goal. We've never been there, but we love it. And I don't know why we haven't been there. It doesn't make any sense, really. But we really hope that we can come out there ASAP.
Yeah, you guys are really popular down here, especially obviously you've had a couple of hits in the charts as well. So you're very well known, and everyone loves you down here. So come down.
Hey, thanks, man. That'd be awesome. Hopefully we can make it happen. Either I guess next year, because obviously we can't do it this year. Probably won't be able to make it happen in the next couple of months. But next year would be awesome if the travel restrictions allow us to.
Yeah, for sure. Well, they've opened up the borders here, which is amazing. So I'm going to go over there next year. I can't wait as well. Just get out and travel, haven't traveled for 3 years. So it's really exciting.
Nice. Well, then I'm glad that they're open. That'd be awesome to make it happen.
For sure. Where do you see the cheat codes going into the future? Like, if you had like a box and you could see into the future, where do you guys see yourselves in 10 years?
Ooh, in 10 years. Shit.
I say selling out arenas.
Yeah, I think like now that we have more control over our business, it's like I want to focus more like on the fans, like building like a diehard fan base of, sometimes you get caught up when you first start, like you just want to like have the biggest numbers or the biggest hits or whatever it is. But at the end of the day, it's about the fans, and it's about putting on like good experience for them and all aspects of it. So I think that's where I would like to shift our focus, more.
Yeah, cool.
I agree. Love that.
What are some of the funniest stories too that you can share that you can recall?
Oh man, they never end. I don't know. We're always having a good time on tour. We're always laughing every time we play some shows or after the show or before or whatever. We're always having a good time. But what are some good stories, you guys? Anything stand out?
No funny stories, Rosie. Wow.
I just have any of them. I just don't know what
There's a lot.
I don't know which one is like the best.
What's the first one that comes to your head, Rosie? The nacho cheese.
That one's a good one. That one's a good one.
The fire extinguisher.
The fire, yeah, probably the fire extinguisher one. That was pretty serious. That was pretty
early on. Yeah, so it was we were still learning. It was just us three. We didn't really have a tour manager. We didn't have a tour manager at all, did we, at that point, did we?
I don't think so.
Yeah, so it was early on. We were just beginning to tour, and we had too much to drink. And at one point, we were all sharing a hotel room, actually. But Kevi left the room, was on the phone for a bit, and then next thing we know, the whole hotel's being evacuated because the fire alarms were on. And we go outside, and there's smoke everywhere. But apparently, it wasn't really smoke. It was Kevi. Kevi had taken the fire extinguisher and sprayed it through the hallway. And the alarms went off, and everyone evacuated, and the fire department came, and the police came, and it was just a mess. But live and you learn.
Yeah.
Wow.
And back to the advice we said earlier, it'll all work itself out in the end.
Yep.
Right. Yeah, that's 100% spot on. If you guys can give your opinion too, obviously with everything that's happening in the world, where do you see, not getting too political, the United States, generally speaking, going into the future as well?
I don't know, man. Well, I mean, it's a big country. That's what I like about it. Like every state has like kind of its own vibe, and luckily we get to like travel and experience, every part of it. But I mean, it's kind of like divided right now. But I mean, at least we have like I said, different states. So it's like as long as people are living the way that they want to live. You know what I mean? Whether it's completely like Florida, completely opposite from LA or New York, whatever, as long as that's how they want to live, then I'm cool with it,
Yeah, I'm cool with everyone having different perspectives and personalities and opinions. You just got to respect each other's opinions.
Yeah. It's easy to judge people when you've only lived in like your town or like you never traveled or whatever, but like we've traveled everywhere. So it's like you can kind of understand different people's perspectives and stuff, and it's not as like the media kind of makes it seem like there's more yeah, it's like black and white, but it's like, hey man, if you want to live how you want to live and you voted for that, then cool, like whatever.
Yeah, that's great, and that's great insights too. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, guys, thanks for coming on the podcast. I do appreciate it. You guys have done amazing. You're doing amazing. Love the new music. And yeah, it's just incredible, your future and trajectory of where you're going. So yeah, thanks for coming on the podcast.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Appreciate your time.
Yeah, thanks for having us, bro.
Nice. Take care.